Started. Tonight, this is usually what I do in our Patreon, right? I go through a chart review, key takeaways, and any lessons that I picked up throughout the day. So, I think we talked about it on Twitter, right? We'll go over the QQQ trade review, holding on to winners, waiting for trend confirmation, cutting out mistakes, selecting options contracts, and understanding market sentiment. Okay, so let's get into it. So let me blow this up. Now, like we did yesterday, normally I'm always watching NQ, especially late at night or in pre-market. This is going to, we talked about it yesterday, but it kind of just kind of maps out what QQQ is going to do. And you'll see this move. Maybe you'll get an extra second of the move before it translates over to QQQ. So it's very strong index to look at, right? This is what the Qs are based off of. So always chart this. I've cleared everything off of the chart just so that you guys can have a clear understanding of what I'm looking at and how I'm analyzing things, okay? So I think, where are we at? What day is this? 12/1. Right here. Okay. So this is pre-market right here. This is when we can wake up. 7. I'm normally at the desk by 8. Okay, so this is 7. I should really mark 4 a.m. That's when a lot of people. Okay. So this is our levels. We have this high right there from pre-market, and I also like this low here. I'm also going to mark this low, and I suppose this low. Okay, so what I watched very closely on QQQ, right? We should have some daily levels plotted. So let's go through on the daily. Very nasty day today. Previous day high and previous day low. Very key levels to have. Also this low down here, this low, and let's say this low or this high. Okay, and I mean, even if you look at this level, right, look how clean that is, all the way back there. So but I want to use in this purpose the previous day high, just because that's what was fresh. We'll go through on the hourly and just kind of look at how things were panning out. Okay, so we can see for the past few days we've been trading in this channel. You know, you can somewhat draw the wicks there, right, as a demand, and then draw this kind of upper wick there as a supply. So not quite, you know, there are some very kind of exaggerated days in between, but really just fighting in between this range. Okay, and if it does push below this demand zone, we do see some spillage, as noted. Let's see, Friday and today on Wednesday. So keep note of this, right? Another thing that I'll do coming into the following day. Let me adjust this. Coming into the following day, I will mark pre-market high and pre-market low. Okay, some key levels right there. So we'll change the color on these as well to green. Okay, we can see here very closely that this pre-market low aligned with this daily resistance level, 397.48. So they give some strength. Okay, so this is what now remember, we're not reviewing this as this has not happened yet. We're reviewing this. And we had a nice push down, and then it looks like throughout the night, NASDAQ futures were pushing up and recuperated some of these losses. Okay, so let's jump into the 5 minute. This is normally what I'm looking at all of the time. Okay, we'll blow it up too. Perfect. There's a good chart. Okay, so previous day high, previous day low. That's that daily resistance level. I want to mark these. I'll mark this as red, and I'll mark this one as a light purple. Okay, and we'll go through the right. Previous day high. Previous day low. Okay. And pre-market high, pre-market low. I also drew this level when I was trading today. This after hour little spike up. So here, let's get into it. So normally what I look at, now we must consider market sentiment. We knew that Powell was speaking today. Him and Yellen were speaking or testifying today. And that started at 10 a.m. And normally they start speaking about 10:20, 10:30. So we see this pre-market high level, pre-market low. Normally what I look at is I want to, if we respect this bottom pre-market low level, or whichever channel I've noted here from, either it's the high and low before close, or high and low in extended hours. But right here we've selected this kind of channel that we traded in pre-market prior to open. So normally off of the low of the channel, if we start to see buying pressure, I look to take calls. If we see some rejection or a weak break from the top of the channel, then I look to take puts, right? Try to time that reversal with a relatively low risk. Now, where does the low risk come from? It comes from being able to base levels, or base an area of risk off of the level. Yes, Jerk. I'm only doing these Twitch live sessions. I think tomorrow I'll be gone, but I'm only doing them the first week. And after that, the rest of the sessions are in the Patreon, right? I just posted all of the previously recorded sessions as well. I think it's 45 videos. So here we go. So we go in. Now, normally when we gauge price action strength, we like to see it over VWAP if it's bullish and under VWAP if it's bearish. Now, to gauge the strength of the trend and try to get a gist of who's winning in this, in this battle, we want to see wicks. Where are these wicks and where are we reversing? Are buyers present under VWAP and our sellers present, or are buyers present under VWAP and our sellers present over VWAP? So this was very tricky to trade. If you're not comfortable getting in and out of positions, or if you don't have the best of average, right? So if you didn't bottom tick off of these and take calls, and you bought up a little higher, this pullback here, this is a significant pullback. This might stop out some people. Now, I will say in my trades, right, I got kind of chopped up in the this movement here today. But once a trend was truly chosen and presented to us, this is where we were able to make a large sum, and we'll get into it after we go through this chop. So another tip that I like to give, kind of recommend to traders that maybe you're not so comfortable trading options, or newer to trading options, is just wait 30 minutes to an hour after open, especially if there are meetings going on in regards to Powell. I think tomorrow we have jobs report. So we just kind of chop around. Now, it looks in hindsight very clean in order to, like, hey, I would take calls here. And then, hey, I would know to take puts there. And, so on and so forth. I actually hold some puts and then stop out over VWAP here. And then on the push up, we take puts. And we are able to write it down. Now, one thing that I saw, I kind of celebrated a little bit preemptively, but I was still able to scale. We saw a huge push down. I think on the 1 minute, it's probably, yeah. We saw a very large push down right here. This is where our puts started to work out for us. But as soon as I saw this rejection wick, right, I mean, as soon as we entered this demand, I knew that this was an area to where buyers were going to be present. So in order for me to, offload my put, I needed to sell it, right? And but as soon as we saw this rejection, this is a strong wick. Okay, it takes an immense amount of buying power to in order to reverse a large downtrend like this, right? As soon as this wick occurs, we just go straight up. Okay, so on the rest of this, I scale out a little bit more than half, and on the way up, scale out more, and then I stop out the rest because I see that now the chance of a bearish trend is taken away because we did maintain a higher low, and buyers came in very strongly through this demand here. So now from formations, I know we talk about indicators and where price is in regards to VWAP. Some very simple trend lines to be able to place on this. Very simple concepts that I've brought over from trading small caps, and in reality, these formations were derived from large caps. And a lot of people just take these formations and strategies and apply them to anything. People trade crypto, forex, etc. This is a new question, but is trading options subject to the PDT rule? If you're trading options, you should, and you're under PDT or under 25K, or just in general, if you don't want to trade margin, I suggest that you trade under a cash account. Cash account has a T+1 settlement rule. So instead of like trading commons, if you buy a common small cap on Monday, your funds are not going to be available to you until Wednesday morning. If you buy an option contract today and you sell it within the same day, tomorrow your funds will be there available to you to trade. So it's kind of like being over PDT without refreshing your account the same day, but the following morning you will have those funds available. So here, some very simple trend lines that you can take contracts on. Okay, we see this pop up. There's 2 points here. I like to just connect some of these points. Okay, this was a very nice downtrend break. Even here, I think we noted this today as well. I think I drew it right there. We get a little bit of a wick down, but buyers maintain everything under this trend line. So a very clean wedge, another downtrend break from this point to this point. Now some of you may be looking and say, oh, well, in hindsight, right, what if you draw this? Okay, if this gets negated, then you should always update your drawing. You don't have to stick to the same drawing. Okay, so this was a very nice downtrend break, pop out of demand. You have a VWAP break, right? Talked about this yesterday in the previous session. Break and base is a very strong confirmation for me to take a trade to either sides. So this is what we see: a break on VWAP, base on VWAP, large strong continuation. Okay, so if we want to look at places where we could have taken entry on VWAP, on the break of VWAP, or on the break of this downtrend. Okay, also right there as well. So this is what I talk about. You don't have to trade through this chop. Some of the most patient traders are not scaling in or this or that. They're waiting for the encore or the climax of this formation. Okay, and what you're getting here, you may not have the best entries down here, but you are getting the meat of the move. Later entries dictate quicker profit taking. So look at all the traders that sat through. I sat here and traded through this. Traded, oh, okay, but we made money on this. But the kind of sentiment for the day was that as long as this low down here was never broken, it was going to maintain bullish or sideways. So instead of trading through all of this chop right here, just be patient on open. Wait until a formation is presented to you. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are very comfortable trading, or you know what a downtrend break is. You just draw a descending line, descending trend line. Okay, and if it's aligning with some VPA support, this large lower wick respecting this demand of VWAP break and base, those are your levels of confirmation. So instead of trading all this chop, just try to find these formations that you're comfortable trading. Okay. So, Powell started speaking, and I think the anomaly that people were looking at, right? As soon as Powell started speaking yesterday, we saw look at the time, okay? Look at the very bottom. Like I said, he started speaking 20 to 30 minutes after 10 a.m. So this is 10:30, right on the spill, 10:34, okay? Today, he started speaking about the same time, but the anomaly was that the market was going up. Now, some of the comments not as detrimental or holding as much weight compared to yesterday, but still significant, talking about inflation and nothing really. There was some beneficial points. He was saying that the economy is gearing up to recover and blah blah blah, whatever. Okay, the overall market was just letting this run up as there wasn't anything like a major red flag like yesterday. But as soon as the conference ended, I think this was or had adjourned, we started to see a large sell-off. Okay, and I think Biden started speaking right after that, which really aided in the sell-off. Okay, this is on the 1 minute, right? So. Little scalps here, and in between. I think I also took a high day break preemptively here. As we're riding our EMAs. Remember, this is how we can stay into a trade. We broke the 9 cross above the 20, so the 9 and the 20 are going to act as support. Okay, we get a 9 bounce there, 20 bounce there. I take entry on calls right there. I think I take the 400 out of the money calls. They push up to in the money. I take most of it off and stop out the rest. But when we started to see this downtrend, okay, now there were a lot of signs, right? This was kind of a head and shoulders, right? Left shoulder, head, and then right shoulder right there. If I extend that out to the right. But also this large kind of selling pressure that took out this previous low right here. That was a strong move for bears, okay? And it pushes through VWAP. Now we do get a bounce, but this was, pretty detrimental of a move. Pretty violent of a move down for bulls to come in and say, hey, we're not exhausted, this is still savable for us, and but if you look at it, it's very weak. Okay, so this is just going to add into the selling pressure, and whenever shorts see any sign of weakness, they like to add onto it very heavily. We'll notice that things rip up or rip down much quickly, or much more quickly than they do kind of grinding up. So this took 2 legs, right, to grind up, and then the rest of the day, it was really for nothing because, look at that spill. Okay. I also want to get into the ranges we talked about, right? QQQ has an average range of 1 to 1.5% on the main kind of range it likes to move, or in between legs, right there, 0.6%. So I know it's not a major move. I know back down is going to be about 0.6. This leg up here is about 0.9, so a pretty good move, but getting close to that average where it starts to reverse. And look at this move, okay? Now, of course, we're not going to know towards the end of the day because the chart isn't developed completely, but all the way to the low, right? This is a 3.5% day move. This was a very, very bearish day. And remember, you have to gauge your market sentiment. What happened? Powell was talking. Biden started talking. And I think right around this time, Omicron first case in the US. So 3 kind of negative aspects that the market reacted to today to create such a violent move down. Now, I will cover my best trade today that, I kind of, in hindsight, sold a little too quickly. What did I add? I think I added right here. I added the 398 puts at about 71 cents. Okay, so we'll just highlight this. Not the best place for a put, but and then I know Q Jackson in the Patreon, he added right here, which was a sick move, right? And why did he add there? Okay, VWAP, breakdown, and base, and a large move down, right? See that confirmation? He knew to take that because it's something that we've, covered, over the last 3 months. So, very, very nice move there. But if we look, okay, why did I take the 398 puts? this large move down was very weak. We started a consecutive lower high, lower high, lower high, okay, and lower lows. Lower low, lower low, another lower low, and another lower low. Okay, so we're in a very clear downtrend now. I mean, I guess you can kind of draw, you know, this kind of channel down. Okay. So we have the 398 puts at 70 cents. I know that that chart's gone. I sold. You know, I also was looking for a bounce into this demand. Now, there's nothing wrong with selling early as long as it adheres to your plan. Now, I knew that I would make a good bit on my contract if I had my entries here and it sold off into this demand. Okay. Now, this I sold half here in anticipation of the same move that happened to me earlier. And I sell for about, I think, a 70 or 80% gain. And selling half is completely fine, but we get a bounce and then another retest of this demand. So this is a very strong break and a base. Okay, so demand zone, break, breakout, and base. Taking those buys away from bulls, or those sells away from bulls, and then a confirmation, break and base. A retest. A lot of you guys know that as. Also, if we look here, remember we talked about the on the 1 minute, the 9 and the 20 EMAs. Now, when the trend is truly broken, you don't have to get into this chop. You don't have to, you know, try to find the bottoms, or, you know, even if you're not used to notifying or noticing, you know, a break in base or anything like that. Watch your EMAs. Okay, so we see a very strong move on a breakdown, and we see that the 9 here is completely under the 20. Okay, so let me zoom in here. On this move down, we're in a clear downtrend. Lower lows, lower highs. We talked about it. Okay, look at this ad right there. You see, you just add on the 9 or 20 kind of cloud or this range, you know, a put if we're riding this trend. And if you're wrong, it's gonna pop out a little bit. And I mean, I can see here a few instances. You know, if it does pop out, you should be looking at either your 3 minute or your 5 minute, right? I move up a time frame, and as long as I see lower highs and lower lows being made, then I don't get too scared. Okay, so nice ad there. Now we pop out. We're down here. Let me do this one. QQQ, 3 minute. Okay, perfect. Okay, so remember that the 1 minute is a very tight and you know, informative time frame. Okay, so sometimes there's too much information, so we break you know, break out of our trend right there. So let's mark that arrow with a red arrow. Okay, so right there, right, if we break through and we have a position already, you know, but if you don't have a position and we break through the EMAs on the 1 minute, look at your next time frame. So this is the 3. Okay, remember we talked about the 9. The 9 and the 20 are going to be used as the same on you know, all of the other time frames that you're looking at, whether it be the, you know, the 1 hour, the 4 hour, the daily. If it's bullish, the 9's over the 20. If it's bearish, the 20 is over the 9. So this is where we break out of our EMAs on the 1 minute. We look here on the 3 minute. It does not break the 20. Okay, this is a perfect kind of ad for another put, and as we can see here, it shoves down again. Okay, nice push up over the 9 and the 20 once again, another shove down. So think about if you add on every time we touch the 9, or, you know, in that space between the 9 and the 20 in a clear downtrend. Okay, we know why else would you feel confident in this area? Okay, you would feel confident in this area because, one, we broke low of day. Imagine, you know, in small caps, when you break high of day, normally it rips up, especially on a strong break, or if you get a break in base. So we're under the low of day. I don't think at this point in the day, with Biden speaking, or with Biden's speech, Powell and Yellen speaking, and the Omicron virus case, that we're going to reverse and make highs again. Okay, we're under the low of day. So if we're under the low of day, it's very clearly bearish. So look if you add on all of these 20 EMA taps or 9 EMA touches. Okay, right there. Okay, now we see this, right? We pop out a little bit. So let's look at the 5. Let's mark this. Now, this isn't to be confused with, oh, I need to move my stop up more and more, right? Don't do that. Like if you just have a bad entry, you have to own up to it and, say that you have a bad entry. So we push up over a little bit, okay? This is why I keep all these time frames up. It's just so I have a clear perspective. This red arrow, we break up a little bit on the 5, 20 EMA is respected. No sellers really letting it go past that 5 minute 20 EMA. So very clear trend and a huge move down. Okay, this move right here, depending on what contracts you take, maybe if you take 390 puts or 389 puts, something like that, this is going to be 100, 200% move right there. Now, I also call this one in the Discord right before close. So let me pull it up. All right, perfect. So right here, nice scalp on the 0 DTE. This was in the Discord this afternoon. Well, that's not the best. I say here 20 EMA QQQ 20 EMA 3-minute reject again. Okay, because we see here this is at 337. So let me blow this up once more. So 337. Right there this time. So I see that we're pushing up. I'm anticipating another 20 EMA reject, okay? Because we've done it all day. We're not going to rip up, especially near close. So QQQ 20 EMA 3-minute reject again, looking for fresh lows, much more lower wicks this pivot. So I noticed the lower wicks and I noticed them as a target that we need to break through, okay? Because this is where buyers have stepped in. Okay, and then I say VIX is over 30, so that gives us a very strong confirmation. If VIX is going up, most of the indexes are going to be going down. And then let's just see what happens, right? So we call it right there. We take our ads right there on the 20 EMA tap, just like we have the rest of the day, or some of the members have the rest of the day. And then we get a push down, okay? Now, when we tap back into this demand, okay, I scale some, okay, because this was a very nice move right there. I'm up about 30, 40%, okay, on those contracts. And why wouldn't I lock it in, especially on the 0 DTE right before close? Now, I see that these buyers are, still here, but where they're getting pushed through, and this is a doji candle, so I'm just holding the rest. But when we get a strong flush like this, I'm scaling, okay? This on the strong momentum move, I'm scaling a little bit. We see that it continues again. I scale a little bit, and then I just flatten right before close. I think I flattened like at 358, 359. So, this move right there, that was about a 125% move, 150% move almost. So, and this was just pointing out, following indicators, understanding market sentiment. Are we going to really reverse right before close? It happens. Don't get me wrong, it happens. We've seen it happen before. But on a day like this with three kind of Biden speaking, Powell talking, and the Omicron news, the sentiment was very, very bearish. We're not seeing any of those bulls coming in and looking to reverse that as Qs or had made a fresh low for the day, especially on the daily candle. Another thing that I wanted to point out, Bull Shark has been hanging out in the Discord, which is great. Good friend of mine. He's noted that these dark pool wicks here, I kind of disregarded them, but I'm gonna add more weight to these. He was mentioning that these are very important, and I asked him why in this morning, and he said that normally these dark pool wicks, they get filled. Okay, so as we can see here, these get filled. If I remove this, right? These get filled right there. Very strong move. Had you anticipated that? Hold on. And then another one. Let's look at the day prior. Let me go on the 15 minutes so it cleans up a bit. Okay, day prior. Look at this wick. Okay, price fills this. All right. I mean, I guess this counts as one, but on this day, didn't work out. Okay, it's not gonna work every time. on this day. It pops up a little bit, but not as strong of a move. So that's two that haven't worked out. This wick right there, dark pull order, this gets filled. Oh, Lord. Okay, yeah, we were here. All right, this dark pull order right there, this gets filled very cleanly on the downtrend. Okay, and then obviously you would gauge your EMAs to maintain and hold on to that trade. Dark pull order here, this gets filled. It also won right before open. This gets filled as well. Okay, this one doesn't get filled today. Look at this dark pull order. This one gets filled. Nice push down. I don't see one this session or this session. I guess this is one, but it gets filled in pre-market. So that's just an anomaly, or like not really an anomaly, but I guess somewhat of a consistency that we're seeing. You know, when we see these dark pull orders in the morning. So I used to disregard them. I will give them some weight, but not base my trades on it so much. If we are in a major downtrend, and I see that this is an area to possibly reach on that level, then you know, I will keep that in mind in my analysis. Let me catch up on chat a little bit. How do I add calls and puts into the Thinkorswim watch list? So we'll go through. Here we go. Contracts. I have them here already, but I'll clear these out. Oh, look. Oh, are these still up? Oh, okay. Let me just show you what these 398s went today. Oh man, this is gonna be beautiful. It makes me sad because I mean, I sold them too early. I mean, I was like, you know, oh, I just sold these for 385%. I'm the man. These go insane, right? So we get where are we at? 71 cents, right? Look, I scale out like right here. You know, that's just the beginning of the layer. I should have held on to it. Look at where these go. Okay, I mean, at the very top, 1500%. Now a normal scale where people, if they did hold on to this all day because it was just dying, you know, let's say in this area, 955% on those contracts. Okay, why are we trading small caps? Why are you guys trading small caps? Okay, even this 385% win that I had, you know, what did fun do today? It went 50%, right? Which most people are not going to get the very bottom. So, you know, most traders getting 10, 20%. So, but let me go into how I port these into the watch list, right? So let me clear these out. Okay, we'll go to QQQ. So I have this in the morning to kind of just be able to port my watch list over, or port my contracts over into the chart rather quickly. So I go to trade. I go to the closest expiry. I pick the contracts I want to trade. Let's say I wanted to trade 389 puts. I will go to add to QQQ contracts. Let's say I also want to trade the you know, if I'm not trading puts, or I just have these on here just in case of a you know, a bullish scenario. I want to trade these you know, 390 calls. Okay, so I click add and then I go to QQQ contracts. We see it pops up there. I go back to my charts. I'm charting. If something pops up, we're gonna be able to chart the contract and understand where our entry is in price and what would be a good price to enter and what would be chasing. So what's up, Shinobi? Oh my god, dude. Let me see. Yeah, 0 DTE, 0 days to expire. DTE, you know, you'll trade 1 DTEs, you know, 3 DTEs, whatever. It just really depends on, you know, the expiry. Yalver says, if I understood Bullshark correctly, he said that those long wicks show where direction will tend to go. In his private room, he said it fills on the downside more often than the upside. I don't believe he uses them as a demand area, but I could be wrong. I wasn't looking at it as a demand. I was saying where they get filled, right? And when I say fill, imagine these like a gap. So like, you know, if price reached right there. this would be called getting filled. Okay, so price fills this. Okay, so I was just drawing it as, you know, just a box, not a demand. Yeah, exactly, Q. This shit was crazy, dude. You bought some cheap NVIDIA YOLOs at 330s. Did you buy calls or puts? Um, so right, it's very easy. I understand the struggle that some may be having with options. It's very easy to lose money trading options, right? But it's also very easy to lose money, um, you know, trading small caps. How many people were trading CNTX today and had private placement news? Okay, or LGVN the other day, and it had what did it go? I think it had an offering, did it not? Yeah, had an offering right here, and then PTPI as well. Okay, so it happens. But the problem with traders and trading small caps if they're day or large caps if they're day trading them, right? I'm also, you know, I'm not perfect, right? I'm subject to this too, or subjected to this as well. I put myself through these problems and give myself a headache, but is trying to predict the move before we have enough data to really base an entry on or a trade on. So remember, we don't have to trade this chop. Just wait for a formation to be presented to us. Take the breakout. If it's wrong, stop out break even or a little bit less. You might get negative 10, 20% or so. But if you're right, you're going to make a 100% move. Okay. Same thing here. Lots of chop. Maybe you don't get these demand fills, but you're just waiting to see a confirmation. You don't know what's going to happen here. You know, if I look at it from a TA perspective, you know, on the 5-minute chart, this is a lower high, lower high, lower high. Okay. So, you know, yeah, that is a downtrend break, but you don't really know what's going to happen at that time. It looks like a rounding top with a lot of selling pressure over VWAP. No candles really closing over VWAP, which is bearish for the most part. But we do see buying pressure, and if you can notify that, then you just take the downtrend break and you rip up. So try to, if you're trading, if you're going to tune into the stream tomorrow, I myself am going to be a bit more patient, not trade this chop, and we want those ranges, okay? We want to be able to capitalize on these ranges. Now for me to take my entries from, I took them from, I got all these drawings. Why is it not? Okay, there. From these entries here, and then selling them, I think I stopped out like right there, right? That's only a 1% range, but I made 300 and something percent. Okay, because it was 70 cents and they went to, you know, I think like $3 or something like that. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. But you know, if you guys have any questions, I'll take a few questions and then we'll wrap it up. Oh yeah. Today or tomorrow will be a good day. We do have the jobs report, but I don't think Powell's speaking and I don't think Biden's speaking either. Let's see. But, you know, if any of this confuses you, just try to take this very slowly. It's all of the same concepts that I trade from small caps and just bringing it over to large caps. With the the only thing that's different is the order entry. How am I such a beast? Um, you know, some just got that sauce, dude. Uh, would the price action respect supply and demand levels even with all the news and Powell talks this week? Um, so, you know, let's look. I think I showed you guys a range. Yep. So this is right, all these bottoming wicks, if you read my supply and demand thread, we talked about it, okay? This is what was respected. You know, look at the buy right off of open this day. It continued all day. This touches it. A dark bull touches it in pre-market, but it holds above. We have a very nice trend day. Buyers come in very presently here. It pushes up, chops back down, but through pre-market and or extended hours, we push back up. So, and every time we see this demand or this supply here, okay, we see some right there in this day. It pushes out of supply a little bit, so, but we do see a nice push down. And then the following day, supply respect, which wasn't reflected in the day prior, on a very strong trend day down. Okay, and then again today, look at this. Supply touch, push all the way down. We get a test here, as noted by that wick. It stops for a second, it breaks and bases, and then continues further down. If we were going to hold this demand, then we probably would have seen a little bit of a curl up towards the end of the day. Do you mainly trade SPY and QQQ, or do you also trade individuals? If you do trade individuals, how do you decide which to add in your market open watch list? I'll trade, like we traded Qualcomm today with Bullshark, and I'll trade some inside bar plays. Not very much, and if I do, it's just kind of, you know, privately, just to kind of, you know, gauge and understand some of the sentiment that goes along with those, because for the most part, I understand the Q's personality on a larger time frame perspective, and sticking to the smaller time frames on something like a large cap like the Q's, which has so much weight, considering that, you know, the holdings within the ETF. So, but I do trade, you know, I'll trade AMD. The other day we had Nvidia kind of charted out, but I was kind of too tunnel visioning on QQQ. When reviewing charts, do you think that seeing the whole picture can be a bit counterintuitive, easier to see trends in hindsight? So when we review charts, I don't, this is a big problem that people get into. So, you know, they'll draw, I mean, what, like, they'll draw this. Well, I don't know. I don't have a good perspective. Okay, so a lot of people, though, I'll just have to draw it myself, okay? They'll draw something like this. And then they'll say, you know, something along the lines like, hey, you know, this trend line was respected, but, you know, they only make that comment due to the fact that they're, you know, we're looking at it in hindsight, okay, because the chart is already developed. Now, when I review charts, you know, we started the review off, I said, you know, we're going to review this chart, and with the understanding that this has not occurred yet, okay, so trading in pre-market, right? Basically what we did, took the pre-market high, pre-market low, marked our daily levels, previous day highs and lows, and some demands. So when you are reviewing, even though that you can see what's going on, I think that it is a good perspective to have to know what happened, because you should try to chart this out to the best of your ability. Now, when I was live streaming today, I marked this demand out. We had all of these same levels, previous day high. I even had that supply zone marked from the hourly. Where'd it go? This one marked here, edit properties, boom. All right, we had this whole supply zone marked out from that day. You see, all I did was extend the date on that. I didn't do anything, you know, subjective. All I did was, I remember this is where I drew supply, extend the date out. I knew that we were in supply here, was not a strong break out of supply, just like the days prior, and that we would see some kind of bearish sentiment. So, yes, some people like to go and review into reviews and cheat and you know, look at that look at the price action in hindsight and base their TA off of that. I think as long as that or as long as you are identifying proper setups, even though if you didn't mark them during your live trading session, it's good for your eye, right? It's good to train the eyes as to what was in hindsight possibly obvious, that if it was so obvious, why didn't you see it during your live trading session, right? And that was simply due to the fact that you haven't done enough repetition in identifying and drawing these, or you're not drawing enough, okay? Because I'm drawing all the time. If you guys tune in this stream, sometimes my charts look crazy, and I'll have to just clear it out and start fresh so that you guys can see exactly what I'm looking at, or I just have some older drawings left or something like that. Break down the inside bar play like a little more? Sure. So let's go to NVIDIA the other day. This was a very nice one. Now, with NVIDIA, a lot of people like to trade the inside bar day and only trade, let's see, and only trade if it triggers. Okay, so this was an inside bar day right here. Okay, this green bar and the following red bar is within the previous day bar, so that's why it's called an inside bar day. Okay, inside the previous day bar. So what people, I just marked this as calls trigger, puts trigger. That doesn't mean that you should be buying the calls and the puts on this. Okay, this is just kind of a sentiment confirmation. What I like to do and how I like to trade these inside bar plays. Right, we always need to mark. Look what I have here. It's left here from the other day. I was just so tunnel visioned in QQQ. We have our pre-market high and our pre-market low. I know that if we break pre-market high and base, then it's going to be a strong kind of move. Now, this off of open was this off of open was rather choppy, but we're able to see this kind of lower wick here and mark a demand. Okay, we mark demands on major lower wicks and supplies on upper wicks. Okay, you see this? All of the wicks are getting shaved off, right? This is like hair, and it's just getting shaved from the supply zone. But once we start to see candles like this, look at these weak candles. But if you see strong candles like this into supply, you should know that we're about to break it. Now, it's not always going to happen. There are anomalies, but for me, inside bar plays, if you can get in on a dip before you break either of your triggers, because all these triggers they pop up on people's scanners, right? High day scanners, volume scanners, this or that, anomaly, percentage, gain scanners, whatever. So people will add into that. Algorithms add into that for a scalp. But if you have entries before your trigger, if you're trading to the long or to the short side, that's just going to add more percentage to your profits, right? Because what a lot of people will do, they'll only add the inside bar play if it breaks this level, which is still not a bad move in hindsight, but this doesn't always happen. Okay, sometimes you get a pop up and it dies down. But if you get in here a little bit safer, demand add, maybe this channel break add right here, a little preemptively, you're going to be a little bit safer than those people who are laggardly entering those inside bar plays. Are these contracts execute automatically, or you're execute on a different screen? I execute on a different screen. This is just my stream screen. I have 3 screens, and then on my right, I have 2 active traders open, 2 different kind of windows with, I think, 6 charts displaying the long and the short side. But if I'm, if it's a very strong trend to the downside or the upside, I will ladder contracts and, play both calls or both puts on those if it's a strong trend. Yeah, but I hope you guys learned something from this session. I hope this helped. Today was the first day of the month. A lot of spots opened up in the Patreon, and I think we only have about 40 spots left. So this is the kind of education that I do 3 to 5 times a week. Remember, we talked about our live sessions that we do each Sunday, and then I have 3 or 4 throughout the week that I think this is the 3rd one I've done so far. So every day this week. Tomorrow I'll be gone, but we just go over through reviews and concepts that I notice, and any kind of questions that people are either having trouble with, or however they can try to improve their trading strategy, or find their niche. A lot of traders, they come to me and they have no clue how to trade. They may know formations or understand basic concepts of price action, but they don't have their trading style or their niche and how they are going to approach the market each day. So like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this session, and you guys were able to learn something from this. You know, I will be on Twitch tomorrow, a little bit shorter on Twitch, and I think on Friday we'll do the last kind of public live session. So, but I'll catch everyone in the morning. I think like we talked about, let's see how many spots were left. This was, I think I do have, okay, so there are 36 spots left right there. So 36 spots left, and after those 36 spots fill up, that's, you know, I'm going to cap it, and then that's going to be the price, right? I think, what do we have? Yeah, $60. After this month of December, everyone who has joined in will remain at that price, and price will go up. Continuing for the rest of the year. Currently, I have the cheapest Patreon room out there, and I did have mine for quite a while longer than some other rooms. I think we're going on month 4 now. So, once again, thank you everyone for joining me tonight in the live session. I hope that these concepts kind of, you know, were a breath of fresh air, or were able to, you know, you were able to wrap your mind around it and understand options a bit more. If you have any questions, you know, please DM me, at me on Twitter, anything like that, for anything that you might want to see in the next live session on Friday. So, you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. I will catch everyone at 9 a.m. tomorrow on Twitch, Eastern Standard Time. So, have a good night, guys. Oh, let's see. Also, 1 second. I guess if, you know, some people wanted to go through a run through of, you know, the our Discord, right? So we have Stacks Chat. This is where calls and discussions with members happen. Trading Floor, this is where I make most of the calls, even though most are going to be called on stream. Live sessions, this is where all of our previously recorded live sessions are located. And for those new members, the new file was uploaded. Let's see, and let's see, these are all of the sessions that we have available. Okay, a lot of them have small caps, but majority of the concepts, like I said, just spill over into large caps. Okay, so going through, we have chart review. This is where I answer a lot of chart review questions, and you know, kind of maybe if you have any problems understanding a chart, or if you just don't know if you're doing a chart very well. Let's see, swing ideas for anyone. I'm going to be posting some more swing ideas for some small caps. Some of the members were requesting that, and I'll find 1 or 2 kind of strong plays. We go through homework. I do homework each weekend to try to get you guys to challenge yourself and pick your brain a little bit more. A lot of people just on the weekends will go through the review, you know, looking at charts, this or that, but I really dig deeper into the psychological aspect that comes along with trading, because as we all know, trading is, you know, I'd say 95% psychological, and if you don't have a good kind of understanding of yourself and your own emotions, then you're gonna have a hard time displaying your skill onto the chart. Live sessions, let's see, I have all of my charts here for you guys to kind of understand, you know, how I'm trading price action. Very good study. I mean, if you're just sitting there on the weekend, you know, eating chips, you know, watching TV, whatever, you know, this is a very nice channel to just go through and look at some of the concepts that I trade every day. We also have a ton of ton of EDU resources. I have books, okay, tons of books available. Strategies. We have a bunch of files, rules, bunch of different things. Supply and demand. We go through news plays, how to trade them. I have a plethora of think scripts. All of the think scripts that I use and have used in the past. I mean, look at this. These are all ones that I personally have used, not just a random amount. And you know, just a ton of other things. So, but if you guys have any questions about the Patreon, please let me know. You know, it's very educational based. It's not, you know, if you're looking to get rich quick, which I mean, a lot of people have already, you know, made a good kind of bit of money. I think, yeah, look at today. Look at what Jacobs did. Jacobs came to me. So, you know, I'm really proud of Jacobs, right? Jacobs came to me and he didn't really understand his trading strategy, or where he fit in the market. But this past month, right, options have really opened up his eyes, and he's made a great made great strides in his trading journey, and really proud of him. So bravo to Jacobs. Made $2,000 today. Yesterday made 1,400. So dude, he's killing this week, right? He's understanding and really tuning into himself, and listening to his own rules. So, but I think that's about all I need to cover. I catch you guys on Friday. Well, actually, I catch you guys in the morning, right? We're gonna be going over the stream and everything, and I think we'll continue the morning streams, maybe a little bit into next week, but after that, we'll try to maintain in the Discord. So, see you guys in the morning, and get some rest. Drink some water, hydrate, fix your posture, stretch. If your back's hurting, it's because you're not stretching. So, see you guys at 9 a.m. and have a good night.